welcome to the Joy of Gymnastics. I'm Coach Joy. Today we are going to be practicing our handstands. So whether you've tried before or haven't because you've been too afraid, that's okay. We're going to help ease you into it so that way you can feel safe and let it go. Okay, so the major thing with handstands is form. It is easier to balance a broomstick than it is a wet noodle. So what we're gonna do here is come and lie back, and then we're going to pull up into our hollow bodies. So my chest is kind of rounded forward, my legs are squeezing together, I'm pushing and reaching out through the toes, tummy is really tight. And then I can go ahead and release that. And coming back, lifting up, nice and strong. So if we're not engaging every part of our body when we're in our handstands, then we're just gonna keep falling out of them. You can now try with your hands overhead. This will be a little bit more challenging. And exhale, slowly lowering down. Now let's try for some rocks here, which will help us to practice holding our pose while in movement. So we're gonna reach up and then starting a little rock. Now if you need a thick cushion like the one I have, you can always fold up some towels, double up your mat, whatever you need to do. And slowly lower back down. Woo, you should already be feeling that in your tummy, maybe in your shoulders. Now we're gonna try some hollow body rolls here. If this is too difficult for you, you can stick to just holding the hollow body. I'm gonna reach the arms up overhead, pull up into our hollow body, and then with the belly, roll through onto our stomach. Trying to not let your shoulders drop down back to our backs. And then now, other side. Again, this is where an extra padded mat might help your hips. Trying to stay nice and lifted the whole time. Woo-hoo-hoo. And one more. Woohoo! And now, go ahead and lower down. We're going to press up into our mountain. Again, it's a little bit shorter than a typical down dog, so your heels can hopefully reach. Really stretching the hamstrings here, pushing the ground away. All 5 of my fingers are spread. The pointer finger is facing forward, and they're in line with my shoulders or just a little bit wider. This is important because we will be using the same hand position for our handstands. So we really want to work on getting the muscle memory built with gripping the floor, keeping really strong and steady here. I'm gonna walk my right hand in, arching through that left side. I'm gonna reach for my ankle and pull through. Most of my weight is in my feet now, but I'm gonna just kind of come up onto my tiptoes, keeping my arm really strong, and just kind of practice balancing on this arm here. Again, building up the muscle memory, coming back onto your feet, switching your hand out, reaching through with the right hand onto the left ankle, pulling through that side. Now I'm going to transfer the weight into my hand by pressing up through my heels onto my tiptoes. And holding, breathing, you have to engage everything. And then lowering that down. And then now I'm going to step out to a regular down dog here, coming all the way into my plank. And then walking my hands back towards my feet. Again, I'm really pulling in with the chest here. If you can reach your hands to the ground, that's great. If you can't, try for a block, or if you need to gather some books. But then now I'm going to really press into those hands again, as if I'm trying to lift my hips up with my belly. And then I'm going to walk back out to my plank. Really working the arms here, holding that nice strong plank with your body. Everything's engaged. We're not letting go of one thing here. All the way down to your tippy toes. You scooch, scooch, scooch those feet in. Again, really pulling and lifting here. Pressing your hands into the mat. If you can, taking up the heels. I'm really pressing through. This is the only time I say to keep your shoulders by your ears. We're going to step back out into our plank and hold. Really strong. And then now slowly stepping back with the hands. Just go ahead and take a nice forward fold here. And now coming back out into our down dog. Really try and press your head through your shoulders, reaching your chest to your knees. This will really help with the shoulder flexibility. We want everything to be in line when we're in our handstand. We want our arms right by our ears, squeezing our temples practically when we are in our handstands. So this will help us to get our shoulders through. And exhale. It's a nice simple child's pose here. So now what we're going to do is take our practice to the wall. If you actually go to gymnastics, you're probably used to practicing away from the wall, which for me I think is the best. If you're afraid to do that, practice your cartwheels, because if you fall out of your handstand, you can always cartwheel to the side and bring yourself down safely, or if you're comfortable with your back bends, just letting your feet come down a touch. But we're going to practice really letting it go, taking in that inner Elsa, and this is a huge mental thing here. I know a lot of us are so afraid. We haven't gone upside down since being a kid, so now here's your chance. You've got this, I promise. Okay, so if you can, find a nice empty wall space to practice against. As you can see, I took my mat away. I've got my special compression gloves on. This helps me to really use my hand muscles in my handstand, keeps everything nice and firm. What we're gonna do is sit back against the wall. This is just to kind of get a distance perspective. So when we go up into our handstands, we want our hands to be about right here, because we're going to be walking up the wall into our handstand. So we're going to come forward. First, we're going to try headstands. So I like to practice a basket weave headstand because it takes the pressure off of my neck. My neck curves forward, even though it should curve back. So I'm able to really press through with the elbows to lift my head off the mat. So kind of tucking my head down, I'm going to start to lift the hips, walk my feet up slowly. I'm really engaging my arms here. And as you can see, my head is off the mat. You can come to a nice L shape here and hold. And if you're ready, you can take the right leg up. Again, I'm squeezing, I'm pulling, I'm lifting with everything I have. Every muscle is engaged. And then I'm going to exhale. Bring the left foot up. Really pull those ribs in if you have to. Breathing. And then exhale, slowly lowering down. Now, if you have your headstand practice, you can totally go up into your headstand. That will help you kind of get the feel for your alignment. If you're not in your practice yet, you can always still keep your foot against the wall. So I'm going to try that again. And now taking my legs off the wall. So I'm pressing up nice and slow. Reaching a foot away. Finding my balance. I'm really lengthening here. And then exhale, slowly coming back down. And then if you'd like to pause here, you can try that a few more times if you want. But now we can go up into our handstand. So again, I'm gonna plant my hands down. If you need to figure out where your hands go by sitting against the wall, bringing your legs out. Hands are about here. Again, fingertips are facing forward. My hands are about shoulder distance apart, if not a little bit wider. The wider the base, a little bit easier that'll make it for you. And I'm going to grip into the floor as if I'm trying to pull the mat towards me, because then we're gonna start using our fingers to help balance. So when you're ready, we're going to press up, take those legs up the wall, allowing your shoulders to come over your hands. This is where you might start to get like a little whoa, but again, breathe, let it go, let all those fears go. Just allow yourself to fly, to float, taking that right leg up if you're ready. I'm really pressing with those shoulders, pressing the ground away. I've got my eyes locked right in the center, and then lifting the other leg, really pressing through, reaching those toes up to the sky. You almost feel like you can just float away right now. And then exhale, slowly walking those hands back down, giving those arms a rest. You can round out the shoulders if you need to. And now we're gonna go press up for the real thing. If you're nervous, you can try with your back against the wall. I don't recommend that. That really keeps you afraid from trying it out on the floor. Again, if you know your cartwheel, if you know your back bend, that's your safe way of getting out of it. You can even tuck the chin and roll forward, or have a friend spot you. If you've got someone nearby, grab them, say, hey, if I start to fall back, push me again towards the wall. Okay, so we're replanting those hands. Just like with any of our standing balances, we want to make sure that our foundation is really strong. Everything's in alignment. Pulling that belly up. Walking those feet up the wall. Taking a leg up. Again, now I'm pressing through. I'm reaching, slowly starting to tilt away from the wall. If you want to do little scissor switches, that's fine. That'll kind of get you used to taking everything away. Just kind of tapping here if you can. And then back down. So then, eventually, you can start to carry your practice out towards the floor. Again, if you're not familiar with your cartwheels or your back bends, practice those. Those will help save you so you can pick up the hand, turn out, stand up nicely. If you're willing to try one away from the wall, let's go ahead and do that right now. So now I can't use the wall as my support. Again, I'm gripping everything, ground up, pulling that belly in. I'm walking in as close as I can here. My shoulders are past my wrists here. Taking a leg up as high as I can. If you need to, just hopping up. So you get used to that sensation. And as you can see, if I need to cartwheel out, I can. Thank you so much for following along. If you're brave enough to take your practice away from the wall, good for you. Handstands are 99% a mental game. When I first started, I was petrified of going upside down. I was petrified of taking my legs straight up because what would happen if I fell back? But just trust in yourself, believe. Everything that is different and new to us is scary. But then when we start it and we really start to accomplish our progressions, we start to feel so much better and we feel like we can accomplish so much more and feel so much more capable in ourselves. So thank you again. Practice your cartwheels, practice your back bends, keep working on your handstands. It is an everyday practice. I have been doing this for about 5 years now, practicing my handstands, and every day I'm working at it. Every day I'm trying to get better and better. You cannot stop doing this. You can't do this once a week. Keep working at it. I promise you will get there. Good job.